it smelled like dead bodies.
Oh, do you bite it? A little while back, my daughter's car was giving her a little bit of trouble, and we weren't really sure what the problem was. We had taken it to a mechanic, but long story short, they said they weren't really sure what was going on. And because she's a little bit less of an experienced driver, I decided to trade vehicles with her for a few days until we kind of figured out what was going on. I ended up taking her car and she ended up taking my car because she had the long commute to work, and well, I do YouTube for a living, so I really don't have to do that. Anyway, the point is, I ended up trading cars with her and I was using her spare key, one that did not contain a house key. Well, I went to the gym one day and I came back and lo and behold, I didn't have a house key to get in. Now, outside of it being very inconvenient to do this, I have a way to get in my house, right? Instead of calling my wife or calling my daughter to come all the way back from their jobs or school or whatever, I could just climb through the window. Well, I kind of live high up in the air. You see, where I live is a flood zone, and in order to move here, we needed to put an extremely large amount of dirt down, as well as some pilings, and my house is like 11 foot in the air. I know it's kind of crazy, but so 11 foot in the air is not the easiest thing to get into your house. We got ladders rigged up with all kind of janky air condition removals, and it's the craziest thing. To this day, I get wasps that fly in here all the time because I never really sealed it after the few times I had to do that. So leaving your keys in your house is very unfortunate. Now, I have a feeling that the story that we're going to react to today has a little bit more sinister implications because it's from Wansee Entertainment. Listen, make sure to support him, guys. Go over to his channel, click subscribe, click the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos like this, make sure to click on subscribe for this video as well. Let's get into the animation. Don't leave your keys inside of your house. I agree.
It was Friday the 13th.
Oh.
I was walking home from my friend's house. It wasn't a long walk, maybe 5 minutes. As I got to my door, I realized I didn't bring my keys when I left my house. I took my cell phone out from my pocket to check the time, and it was 7:30 p.m.
Dang.
My parents usually don't get back home from work until 8:45 p.m.
Wow.
So I decided to walk to my grandparents' house, which is only about a 10-minute walk.
Okay.
As I was walking down the street, I saw a shadow behind me. I turned around, but no one was there.
Man.
My heart started racing and I started to speed up. Then I saw the shadow again, following. I turned around again. Nobody was there.
That's such a creepy feeling when you feel like you're being watched, especially if you're insecure about walking, you know, man, at night. I don't live in a city, yo. I really don't. I live in the country, kind of. I mean, there's other houses around it and stuff. It's actually kind of a populated neighborhood, but it's not big city like you would think. Very well lit, and you know, I mean, I know in big cities they have back alleys. We have side streets, and the area that I live in is not the kind of place that you would just want to stroll around in the evening anyway. There's other people strolling around in the evening, but if you aren't their clientele, you probably don't want to be seen on the streets at that time.
I was kind of scared at that time, but thankfully I was getting closer to my grandparents' house. I texted my grandma and told her to wait outside the door for me, and she replied with an okay. When I turned the corner, I could see the house and my grandma standing there.
Wow.
I started to feel calm again, like nothing was going to happen to me. But I was wrong. As I was about to cross the road to get to my grandma, I was suddenly pulled into an alleyway.
Whoa!
One hand covered over my mouth and another hand was around my body. With such an abrupt attack, I couldn't get my scream out. I looked down and I could see a very dark, black hand with long, pointy black nails. Lots of cuts and scratches were all over his hands.
Oh!
Its face was getting closer to mine, and it smelled like dead bodies.
Oh! Do you bite it? I don't know. Do you bite it? What do you do? I mean, I know you gotta struggle, but you put your hand on my... Normally, if you're another human being, listen, I know it's not a smart thing to do, but reactionary. You just bite the hell out of them, right? If you get blood in your saliva, it could be bad things as well, but if it smells like dead bodies, it kind of changes how appetizing it is, you know? Oh.
When I looked next to me, I could see a little part of its face. It was pale white with a tint of gray.
Ugh.
I could tell that it was not from here. It was something that we should not know. Tears were flowing down my face. After being dragged through the alleyway, I was dropped onto the ground. When I moaned in pain, that creature stood over me, breathing into my face.
What's it want?
Now I could clearly see its face. It had big black eyes, a big open smile with pointy white teeth, and a long red pointy nose.
Oh gosh. Momo,
I
help!
closed my eyes, hoping it was just a dream.
Momo, help!
However, I felt their hand and nails were starting to dig into my neck, slowly and painfully. I struggled to breathe, but it was impossible. My vision was slowly blurring. And at that moment, someone put their hands on my shoulders. Another put their head on my right shoulder and started to whisper in my ear with a strange voice.
Is that death?
So, this is how you end up when you forget your key on Friday the 13th.
What the heck?
Then the creature started laughing, and then everything went pitch black and silent. When I opened my eyes again, I heard a bunch of people shouting, "He's back! He's back!" I was lying in a hospital room, and all my family was standing next to me. I looked to the left of me, and there was a woman doing something next to a monitor. I asked her,
dream?
"Excuse me, why am I here? What happened?" And she responded, "You were found in an alleyway near your grandma's house with scratches and cuts on your neck. As soon as your grandma saw you being pulled into the alley, she immediately ran after you. She found you laying there as pale as paper with your phone in your hand and blood running from your neck onto the ground.
Momo did help her.
So she called 911.
Thank
and now
goodness.
you're here."
What?
Looking her straight in the eye, I was immobilized with terror. I couldn't believe what she was saying because I couldn't remember what happened to me. And then when I looked to the right of me on the bedside table, there it was. I could see my house key.
What the heck, dude? It wasn't a dream, for sure, but the way, I don't know, maybe because she's traumatized at the end, she's actually imagining things that sounded like it really happened, but was it a person or was it a creature? I don't know. It's kind of hard to know. At any rate, that was creepy AF, man. I hope y'all really enjoyed this one, guys. Make sure to head over to Wansee Entertainment's channel, subscribe to him, and subscribe to this channel if you like reaction videos. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.